Wait. I missed whatever the messages were before appraisals. Can somebody tell me who was here first? It was either Sinistella or Kevin, I'm guessing. Anyway, happy Friday, or in appraisals terms, happy Wednesday, I guess, at this point. Edit today. Why did that not work? Adam is hoping to finish the Enchanter today. Although, if that happens, it would probably be during the afternoon stream. Yeah, I'll just write the Enchanter is the uh, what I have written for this before. I had something nice written for it. Yeah, yeah. The way that equipment will manifest itself in game. Okay, cool. Space is here. Hey, Caleb. Caleb, I was gonna say something. Oh yeah, I was laughing about the whole mayo honey rice thing. I hope that everything's open now and you've gotten stuff. Apparently, there's some like. Hang on a second. Yeah, there's some port strike going on. Oh, I guess it just ended 36 minutes ago. Huh. Anyway, I did not know about this news, and I was looking for ideas of what to buy at the grocery store and heard a bunch of news that toilet paper is selling out and something else, bottled water, I think. And people are like, that stuff's not even imported. Why would why would people be stocking up on it? They were anyway, I don't understand people sometimes. I also don't understand of all the things to stock up on, why do people choose toilet paper every time? Like in a, let's say, post-apocalyptic world, wouldn't you care much more about many other things before toilet paper was on your list? Like, worst case scenario, you clean yourself in a different way. Or I don't know. It's just yeah, I just don't get it. And then what do people do with the packs and packs of toilet paper? I guess if they have storage in their house, then they store it AFBS. Some of us have sensitive bottoms. Oh man. All right. I don't. Do you stock up on toilet paper, Appios? Pretzel. What are you even wiping for if you don't have food to digest? That's a really good point. Oh man. Yeah, I had no idea. And I just thought it's a good thing I don't need it because I'd be casually strolling into the store, not able to find it, and then find out that there's some strike going on. Oh man, this is what happened during the pandemic too. It was the first time I think scarcity ever seemed to be an issue at grocery stores around here. Actually, not the first time, but the first extended time. And yeah, people went nuts for toilet paper back then too. Port strike is not going to make the water system not work. Yeah, I don't know what people were thinking with that. And I guess it's just panic that happens. But panic usually leads to acting in the moment, right? You have to drive or typically drive to the grocery store and then pick your groceries out, get to the cashier, pay, go back to your home. You have all that time to realize, like, maybe this isn't the smartest thing I want to do. People filling their trucks with gasoline. Is that for the port strike or for the pandemic? Because maybe people are picturing apocalyptic scenarios. I don't know. Yeah, toilet paper is going to be the new currency. Hey, Darkstorm. All right. Well, anyway, I've got the Enchanter stuff to work through, and we have this here and this here. And I have a tenet that I'm probably going to be referring to a couple times throughout today, which for those who haven't heard it, and probably the people who are here have heard of it, but I mentioned that if you were building a brick wall, then every brick you put down represents a an explicit amount of progress, and you could know ahead of time how many bricks it's going to take. With game dev, all you know is that you're laying bricks. You don't know how many bricks it's going to take. So today we're going to lay some bricks, and that's it. And we're going to hope that we get done with enough of this. Am I on main? Yes, I am. Okay. Left a surprise screenshot in the item bin comment. In the PR? Whoa. Neat. Yeah, neat. Very neat. I wonder if we should make this look like a sign in the game. Like, should we add a little piece at the bottom here that makes it look like this is anchored into the ground? Because that could be a good idea. But yeah, looks good. Dark just took it upon themselves to add this into the game, which I think is really cool. There's no animation for it, unfortunately. But the old way that this looked in the game is it was just a bin. And now it's a treasure chest that opens up, which looks really neat. I like it. And yeah, I just had one comment that the text was overlapping. So yeah, I'll have to look at this later. And then this, I think you saw the issue that I had added. Yeah. Yeah, and this adds a black line. I want to come up with some way of doing this. You know, one thing we could do is we could measure the pixels behind where the life bar is and then draw a contrasting border. We could also just keep a solid line around it like that. Anyway, I'll look at the PRs later. There's some transportation strike going on. People are stocking up on gasoline by filling their... Oh, with plastic bags? Oh, man. Okay, I at least pictured those big red containers that you're supposed to use. I think the best way to do it is to go buy like 40 rolls of toilet paper and just soak those with gasoline. And that way you kill two birds with one stone. Anyway, so we got to start with this. Battles have a question mark button that show which buffs are active when you hover over it. Before you've unlocked the Enchanter, perhaps this just doesn't show up. Maybe the icon is the Enchanter crystal. Maybe we can even show faded crystals for each class of buff. So the problem with showing faded crystals is you would only need to know this to know which buffs you have. So what I'm thinking is it's just a question mark or a crystal or something like that. And we do the same thing that shows when you hover over the crystals in town, except we don't show the remaining time because the time is something that only affects which battles start. So basically you're going to see something like this. You're going to see enchantments. You're going to see all the enchantments you have. Let me go drag this out here. In fact, maybe this is it. Oh, I can't take a screenshot unless I do that, I guess. All right, then we do this. And then we just cross off this. That was a very long line there. Yeah, so cross this off. I think this is what we're going to do. Hey, yo. Hey, Evil Rex. Hey, Phil. And then we let chat say hi to Magnetic Bind. What caused this? I'm in the UK, so I don't fully understand what happened. There was a port strike, apparently, which just ended in the last hour or so. As in some, like, seaport, there were workers who were striking. And toilet paper and water bottles are not, well, not primarily imports. I'm sure people import some toilet paper and some water bottles. But yeah, it just doesn't make sense. Okay, so where do we put this in the battle? Let's create a battle and take a picture of this. I mean, we have other UI right here. We could put a little crystal graphic here. And that way all the UI for a battle is at the bottom left of it. In my mind, there's no other clear winner for where to put this stuff. Hey, Justin. Well, I don't think the gas hoarding was for this time around. That was apparently something else. But yes, toilet paper was being hoarded, which, like I said, never really makes sense to me. Also, if you can hoard toilet paper, shouldn't you just always have a stock on hand? Like we buy ours from Costco, which comes with, I don't know, 30 something rolls. And we don't use, one roll per day. Saw people freaking out over a port strike and thought like bombing our ports and thought, oh, that's not happening. Yeah, I ignored it. I feel like that would be something worth looking into. All right, so I'm gonna add a little crystal graphic there. And the graphic I want to add is the one that we could try shrinking this one. Where's the one I'm thinking of though? These. Which they kind of look like tiny boats. And we could render crystals for each of the buffs that you have. Or we could just render one of these. Or it could render like a tiny crystal. If I were to shrink this, what would this look like? No, this wouldn't look good. Because it'd be 8 by 16. Oh, that actually doesn't look bad. But what is 8 by 16 in terms of this picture? It's zoom 2, so it's actually 16 by 32 again. Which is that big. That could work. Yeah, that could work. Okay, well, let's just put it in the game and see what happens. Having a breakfast smoothie. This is my breakfast. I'm not saying what this is because the company that made this is not paying me to say what this is. Maybe all of it. Oh man. Gotta get all the toilet paper. All right, so we just go to instance or instance slot. I'm not sure which one. One of these had, not this one. It must be the other one. Instance slot. No, it's not even this. One of these has a button somewhere. Oh, there it is. Yeah. So we have a center container here. What if we added in a texture rect? Put this here. Does this have an on hover thing? Mouse, enter mouse exit. Yeah, okay, cool. Then we can get this to work. And then we put in a new Atlas texture, I guess. And drag this over here. And then figure out the coordinates of the crystal, which I have written in the code somewhere. Item, category, data. Oh, but we only have the colorful ones. I wonder if this means I should add one that doesn't represent all of the other colors. Like maybe we add this one. This sort of has all of the colors. This could represent that you have buffs. Yeah, interesting. Maybe I'll do that. Hey, James. James, did your name color change on Twitch? I don't remember it being orange. It's either random or you changed it. It's gotta be one of those two. I refuse to believe anything else happened here. Good eye. Yes, it's orange now. Okay. I was like, this is not right. Something is amiss right now. I think we'll put this into here. So I will put this right here. Part seasonal, part needed to change. Well, it sounds good to me. Anchor layer. I changed mine to bright pink years ago, and I am quite happy with it. How did part 3 feedback go? It went really well. It went well in a couple ways. I think people are enjoying the game a little bit more. And also, the feedback we got was just very valuable feedback. I haven't read the newest response, actually, I think. Let me see what this is. We have 26 responses now. Oh, wow. Some random person on itch found it. And they left their phone number. Okay. They said, I thought it was wonderful. I would have liked more classes to pick from and to be able to recruit more people overall. Great concept. Hope it takes off. All right, cool. Yeah. Wow. Is it possible to still play? It is possible to still play. The link is there. Please, if you're going to play, take what you see with sort of a grain of salt. Remember, this is an alpha version. So lots of issues you encounter are going to be known issues at this point because 26 other people have now given feedback. And I prioritize all the things we need to do. So what I would suggest, if you're okay with this, is wait about a month and a half for the next version to be out. And that way you get to see the changes with everybody else without me knowing what everyone's going to say. Chat GPT Canvas stuff? No, I haven't. Easy whoops. We need to text them. Imagine if I send a text message to some random person on the internet. The thing is, I don't have a way of disguising my phone number like Kitboga does, so I would need to give them just my phone number, and I am not comfortable doing that. Okay. So I think this is kind of cool. This will represent our just you have buffs thing. All right, wait. Okay, yeah. Yeah, yeah. And if you, like I said, if you really wanted to play, you certainly could. I just think it'd be a better experience for you to wait. All right, now we need to go into here and hope that that picked up. It did. So now we need to go find the coordinates for this. 272, 192. 272, yeah. 272, 192. 272, 192, 1632. All right, so there's our graphic. And why is this not? Oh, I see. We need this to be in an HBox container now. How do we do this? I want, I guess I think I know what I need to do. I need to add an HBox container, put all these things in it, but then put the other two things inside a center container again. All right, there we go. And we call this the buff crystal. Yeah. You could text them from your email. That's a thing. Wow. All right, is this looking pretty good? I think so. Yeah, so you're going to hover over this to see what your buffs are. And this will only show up if you have buffs. It's a jacked crystal. Yeah, real swole. Okay, so now we go to instance maybe. Is this where we have the fleet button? Yes, it is. Oh, by the way, Dark, I added in the snippets that you gave me. GD ready. That's gonna come in handy. Hang on one sec. I will be right back. Okay. My wife is going on a little trip. So I just said goodbye. And this is part of the reason I was thinking, you know what, I should stream a little bit more while she's gone. I streamed yesterday. I mean, she was here yesterday, but I was thinking of streaming this evening. I don't think that's going to happen because we're going to do the morning stream, we're going to do the afternoon stream, and then I desperately need food and like 700 rolls of toilet paper. So I think I might need to go figure that stuff out. But maybe I'll end up streaming on Sunday or something. I'm not totally sure. Bye, Mrs. Leeds. Does that mean we're your rental wife? I would like to not think of it that way. I'd like to think of you as being in an internet chat room. How does that sound? We should probably give this thing a script so that it can show up at the right time. We don't have to give it a script though. We can handle all this stuff from instance. How long is instance? It's long enough where I think we should just give this a script. Yeah. All right, so what's going to happen? We're going to put a script on this. It's going to know when to show up and not show up. No, it wouldn't know that. The battle window would know that. It would know when you hover over it to what to render. Okay, I think that part's fine. All right. All right, so private text. Oh, wait, no, it can't be a text direct. That's why I'm bouncing back and forth. All right, attach a script to this, and we'll call this buff crystal. I don't think that's a good name for this. Maybe Enchanter icon. Enchanter battle icon. Yeah, I think that's better. I think putting crystal in the name is probably a bad idea because we might later decide you should be like wands or something like that, and then we need to go rename a bunch of things in code. Enchanter battle icon, battle mods icon. Battle mods icon. Oh, that actually brings up an interesting point, which is that currently all the battle mods are positive, but there could be a negative one. And then I don't think you'd expect to hover over this. Well, maybe you would. But yeah, I'm going with what Kevin said. Battle mods icon. Good job, Kevin. Here's a point. All right, so then we got to go rename the script. Yeah. Only Kevin had been a little bit faster. I think I'm going to remove that point. All right, battle mod icon. So that means that the other thing that we made, this, should be deleted. And then we're going to need something in here. What are we going to store in here? Which mods you got? Which is what? An I read only list of battle mod. Probably any IDs? No, maybe it'll be that. All right. So now we have one of those. Oh, it's still number one. Battle mods icon. Okay. And you are a battle mods icon. And then we need on mouse. No, not on mouse over. When you construct this, do we get the mods? We don't. Why not? Oh, because the town has it? Oh, they're right there. Mods. Well. Okay, so then the battle mods icon will init with those mods. And what are they? It's a read-only list of battle mod IDs. I guess that's all we need. Yes, because the tooltips are somewhere else. So in here, we make it a battle mod ID. And I think it's fine. All right, set up the namespace for this. Game source scene scripts. Get this thing. And we might need to initialize this with, why is this not working? Not contain a definition for a init. What? Oh, I'm in the wrong file. Oh my God. This file shouldn't exist. This is why after closing this, I need to remember to, or deleting it, I need to close the file. All right, ambiguity between underscore mods and underscore mods. I don't even, it's not a real issue apparently. A read-only field cannot be assigned to. Oh, I see. Cool. Yeah, that was still as well. All right, we got to show this tooltip somewhere, but tooltips are currently broken in battle. So I think we need to fix another issue where they're getting truncated. Not to dive into a black hole subject, is there a reasoning behind picking Godot over Unity? You know what? Let me make a command for this because a bunch of people have asked, and I don't think I have yet. Acom Unity. Adam chose Godot over Unity for two main reasons: familiarity with Godot and the questionable runtime fee policies from Unity. Also, he just felt that Godot could meet his needs for a 2D game. Yep. Wrong class name. I see. Thank you. All right. So we got to go fix that issue with truncation. Also, Bessie, feel free to ask any questions you have. I don't mind if it's a can of worms or something, because typically I have a command for it, and if I don't, and I think it's controversial, then I could always just say I don't want to answer. But in that case, it's totally fine to ask about that stuff. All right, I don't know where this exists, but I know that it exists. So I just commented somewhere, I think in this PR, and I linked to an issue. I did not link to an issue. I just Just put a screenshot of an issue. Do I have a screenshot in this document as well? Yes. Battle stats tooltips are truncated by the instance slot itself. Need to move it elsewhere. All right, well, we need to fix that issue. Tooltips within the battle window are truncated. Can we? Oh, man, it doesn't make sense that you could never do this. Now I think you can. No, you still can't. Can I copy this into GIMP? And then from there, there is no image data on the clipboard. The only way I know how to do this, the only way, is you like export the entire document as a web page or something, and then you get all the image files. But there's no way to just copy the image from here. What if you copy as markdown? Does it somehow know that you've got an image on your clipboard? No. What? Did it just break this? What happened with this web page? I think it just broke. What? Oh, weird. I can screenshot it, yeah, but then I need to turn off Dark Reader and everything. I wonder if they've changed this at all. Google Docs, copy image to clipboard. Is there a simple method to copy an image? Open DevTools, click Application, click on Frames Top Images. Okay, well, fine. Let's go to the Network tab and click Image. And then I guess reload this whole thing. It's got to be the dumbest thing. I don't even see the images. Okay, I see them, but they don't. No, they work. So now I just got to go through these and figure out which one is which. How fun. Hey, there's Minecraft. This is impossible. I don't see the image I want. Okay, well, at this point, it's better to just take a new image. I guess I was hoping this would be better so I could fix this in the future, but yeah, it's not very usable. We'll just take this one. Where's the new issue I'm making now? Did I close the tab? Oh, I closed it because it became unresponsive. Okay, tooltips in the battle window can be truncated. E.g. Come on, you can do it. Yeah. Add the image in Google Drive and link to it in the doc. Yeah, I like the ease of just being able to paste into a doc though. I can inspect on it. Yeah, I'm aware of that. I just wasn't sure if that would lead to the image data being there because the way a Google Doc is laid out is I think the whole thing is a canvas. And I'm not sure if you go to inspect an individual element, if it's going to be the element you expect it to be. Yeah, this whole thing is just a canvas, so you can't do that. Yeah, they do their own rendering for the whole document. If you double click on the image and then shift right click, you'll have a copy image. Double click on the image and then shift right click. But I don't think it'll work in Chrome because like I said, this is just a canvas element that they know is semantically an image, but that to your browser, it's just pixels on a screen. It is weird though that Google doesn't have this thing that they must know that some people want. And I'm not sure why they've never added it because people have known about this for years. Hey, Sir Puffin. Hey, Matt. Also, hi, Quickie Joe. Okay, so here's the issue. I think we need to fix this first before we do any of the code I'm about to do. And the only thing we need to do for this is we need to put the tooltip into a different scene altogether. So we can save all this stuff and we can just stash it. But we can't put it in instance slot, which is where the stuff was showing to begin with. We had End battle screen has this tooltip. This can't be there anymore. So we're going to need a different tooltip. And I guess it could just be in the town. And we just put a tooltip here somewhere. There's loot item tooltip. I think it'll just be general tooltip. Handles images and Markdown better. Markdown is handled by Google Docs now. If you select any text and go to copy as Markdown, you can take it out of Google Docs. And then there is similarly a paste from Markdown that lets you paste into Google Docs. This is pretty new, as in like a month and a half ago or something like that. Hey, Goose. All right, so I think we need to pivot to tackling this. Tackle this first. All right, let's go stash everything. And then stash pop afterward. And let's get a tooltip to exist over here. I guess there's got to be whatever this thing is. So copy you and put you into UI. Paste. Okay, now what? Now we need the tooltip. Tooltip. This is just a general tooltip for other classes to use, other scenes to use. That way the tooltip doesn't get obstructed by viewport truncation, I'll just say. All right, so this is a tooltip. It's called tooltip. And then when we make a new battle or an end battle screen, we want to pass in that as the tooltip, which I think is going to break something else. Do we pass this into some other thing here? Please tell me we do. We do. Set tooltip on party members. Okay, but then there's one other thing we need to do is that item tooltip. That's somehow not broken. Yeah. Interesting. The battle stats need to not be truncated though. Make sure the battle stats use the right tooltip. Make sure we even have that tooltip. I guess what we can do is we can just make this thing be accessible. So public get private set, and then we got to move this. Okay. All right, so where do we have stats in here? Battle stats, time span, etc., etc. DPS label is what has it. Oh, and this thing just gets passed in. Okay, I see. Do we have an init? Yes, we do. Okay, so then here's what we do. We take DPS label and we set its tooltip, which we don't have a way of doing. Oh, I know what we need to do. It's even worse than that. The way this is set up is that it has a child called tooltip on parent, and that needs to have the tooltip set correctly. So this one shouldn't even exist. We just delete that. That's going to break a bunch of references. Yeah. So all three of these need to be fixed. Battle duration, average DPS, average life remaining. So tooltip on parent. We're just going to go make a static function in here. Public static void set tooltip for node with tooltip on parent. So we take in a node and we take in a tooltip. Yeah, the way we can do this is we could just say get children of type tooltip on parent first or default. Tooltip on parent. Good. There should only be one of these. And if it's null, then do something bad. Argument null exception not throw if null. And if it's not null, then we do that. And then static member should be here before this. Hey, PX. Now you can work on the sound. Nice. Yeah. I'm excited to hear what that sounds like. Dark is currently tasked with seeing if sound effects are too chaotic when people are battling in the game. And this is one of the problems with a game where you're not controlling one character. So for example, there could be 3 battles going on at any time, and also all the town stuff, and then whatever you're doing. And the stuff that you're doing could be just hovering over elements in there, maybe little button clicks or something. So is it going to be too chaotic to have 3 battles going on at once? And either way, there are probably going to be these sound sliders. We're going to have one for master volume, music, and then a whole bunch of sound stuff. So maybe we split out battle sounds, UI sounds, and maybe like town sounds. So you could say, you know what, this is just chaos to me. I'm going to turn this down. Okay, I got to write a comment for this, but until then, let's do tooltip on parent.set. We have 3 labels for this. Duration. Wait, why is there a thing on duration? Okay, I guess that makes sense. So duration label, town.tooltip, then the DPS label, and then the remaining life label. Okay. I think that should fix the bug. That there's something else that's going to be broken here. What is it? This. Seems to be town.tooltip. Anywhere else that we tried doing this? No. Let's try running that. Should be fine to have a mute for instances. Yeah. I just wonder how many people will use it. Like, let's say everyone uses it, then we probably shouldn't put a lot of thought into the battle sounds. All right, so now all we need to do, create an instance and win this, and then show stats, and then hover over them. They don't do anything. Well, that's broken. Value cannot be null. How is it null? Get node tooltip. Oh, because it's in the UI? Oh, that might be why. UI layer. Do we have to do things that way? No. We get things from the skill tree that way. Did I save this? Yes. Tooltip. It's capitalized. It's inside UI. It's just like skill tree. I didn't capitalize the second T, did I? No. Percent thing. So this is null. Okay, let's set a breakpoint. This is null. No, this is not null. What's null then? Oh, the tooltip on parent? No, that one exists. Okay, so that's not a problem. And that was the only thing I got called. Did we get another error there? Let me clear the console. I'll just repeat this and win. Oh, it got hit already. Weird. Where is this coming from? Line 27. Tooltip where this content shows. Oh, I see. Oh, this would have already been added to the scene. Oh, man. Can we just delete this? Yeah, we probably can. Yeah. All right, now let's try this out. All right, I don't care about this. This part's all working fine. The battle sets are gone. We need to show them. And yeah, now we can hover over these and they can go outside of the instance, which I don't know if you can see on stream. Yeah, let's take a look at that. That's new. It used to get truncated at the border of this. So when you had multiple battles open, if I just create another one over here and then win that one, then it'd be super obvious that you couldn't see this stuff. But now everything's looking good. Yeah. So with that bug fixed, now we could show you your stats in the battle correctly. Nice. Nice. Yeah. I think we just need a comment on this, which is sets the tooltip to use for a node that has a CCref equals tooltip on parent as a child. Yeah. And maybe it's a good idea to do all the text stuff in one spot. Yeah, probably. So we'll say set battle stats or set up battle stats labels. So we need to pass in battle stats. And anything else? I don't think so. I think that's it. And then all of this stuff can go into this function now. Yep. And then we just change out town to be this kind of town and put this below this code. Yeah, nice. I think that's a little bit neater than what we had. Anything else? We can set these things up here too. No, none of this really matters. I think it's fine. And now the reason I did that is I wanted to put a comment here, which is make sure the tooltip we use is outside of the viewport parent so that there's no truncation. Yeah. Hey, Thals. Oh, and hey, Nepal. Nepal. When was your message from? 2 minutes ago. Yeah. Sorry. It's going well. I have YouTube chat open farther to the side than Twitch chat, and so it's harder to see when there's a message there. And I don't even keep Steam chat open. I feel like no one ever really chatted there. Yeah. I wonder if anyone is watching this stream there. Because somehow people are always in this. Yeah. There are 4 people in this. I don't know how they get there. I don't know who these people are. And no one ever seemed to chat. So I just closed the chat. But hi, whoever's watching. I don't know. Maybe you stumbled on the game on Steam and this just auto played. Although you're probably not listening to me then. You probably have me muted. Maybe it could be bots. I don't think it's anyone who's like cruising through the directory just trying to find streams. I feel like they must be finding the game somehow. But yeah, I don't know. Steam users feeling underappreciated. They probably are, but like I said, no one's ever really chatted there, so I don't think it's what happened here. Interesting. Yeah, I don't think it's a big deal. Like I'm not really neglecting people. Honestly, even on YouTube. Ooh, what's this doing? Apparently stashing does not stash untracked files. Okay, so we just got to make sure not to check that in, but everything else here is looking pretty good. Why is this yellow? Property name is confusing with get tooltip. Town has a get tooltip? It doesn't. What? Given the existence of method get tool. Oh, it's on control that has it. I could rename it. Does it suggest a name for me? Default property generate equals. No. I don't know what we call this. Town tooltip. Scene tooltip. Yeah, there. That's it. Yeah, I figured you're just being a goof. I still wanted to address it. I think some people stream to YouTube and Twitch and just ignore YouTube, for example. Excuse me. Okay. Yeah. Let's check in everything except for this. Excuse me. Shout out to Java 23. Who's Java 23 or what is Java 23? Is it just the new version of Java? Fly around me. Oracle releases Java 23. I wonder what new features they have. Let's check out this random website. Third previews of scoped values. I haven't used Java in a very long time, but any improvements to a language are usually welcome. All right, I like this. Yeah. Fix tooltips getting truncated in battle windows. And that was issue number 323. Fixes 323. Cool. Now we do a git stash pop, a git push. This issue gets marked closed automatically. Good. And now we can go tackle the thing we actually wanted to tackle. Steam won't let you send any messages. Yeah, I don't know. I have the chat open and no one said anything. Testeroni. Oh, I can't see any either. Huh. That's bizarre. Can I send them through here? Show chat. I don't think I saw these messages. This is all today? It is all today. Wait, does the chat link change? It's not the same every time? What do I hear? I definitely see YouTube messages. I wonder if this is changing every time, and that's why I'm never seeing chat because it's not what I thought it was. Is there a way to pop this out? There is. You broadcast. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's probably not a good idea. Hang on a second. How do you get the chat link? Chat? It's not. It's not the same link. Okay, well, I don't know. I think I bookmarked the wrong thing. Is it? Hang on. Sorry. I do want to find this and see if I can. I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to do this. Okay, well, I give up. But by talking about this so much, we have now gotten the Steam viewership up to 10, which I think means nothing. Do I use Restream? No, I don't. I just stream to 3 different platforms from OBS directly. It's the current link you have for chat. This is for the broadcast. I wonder if I just replace the thing I have with what you pasted in. Are these... Whoops. No, these are the same number. No, they're not the same number. Oh, well then I can just do chat only on this, I guess. And that should give me the chat, right? How? Using a plugin that I can share with you in a sec. Okay, so then I can't bookmark this page, huh? I can bookmark the game, I guess, and then put chat only instead of watch in the URL. Well, that's a shame. I wonder if there's a way to get to directly to the current broadcast and just have chat. I'm guessing there isn't. Yeah, this isn't a game link, right? No, that's too bad. Okay, well, whatever. Let's, I guess, link to this and we'll just show the chat there. Edit homepage, Steam. Yeah, this doesn't really, whatever. All right, CP homepage. What, homepage 1? There. All right, so now we have the Steam link there, and I can just click this and go to the chat. Yeah. There might be an API that'll let me do this. Anyway, Nepal had asked, how do I do this stream from OBS? I think I've got it here. Streaming to multiple platforms. Yeah, take a look at these notes. Okay, this is done. And now we want to go show this tooltip. It doesn't matter. And we left off with this thing being here. So what is that? Battle mods icon. We need like an on mouse over. Is mouse over? Yep. GD ready. Got it. This is just going to set these things. And then we want to show a tooltip. And the tooltip we want to show is going to be in town. Where do we do this right now? I guess skill button does this. Mouse entered. Any chance I switched accounts? I don't think so. Oh, wait. Oh, maybe. Yes. Okay, I know what happened. So I can bookmark this page. I had changed accounts. I must have bookmarked the chat page before. I'm not actually certain. Let me go to downloads here. RM homepage. Yeah. All right, let's try editing this one more time. We'll type Steam chat here. Paste that in, save this. Whoops, that was stupid. I need to delete this thing now. Oh man, all right, cool. So now we have a link to Steam chat. Good, let's see if that works on Monday. See if the link on my homepage to Steam chat works. All right, I know we're all over the place. I am going to make progress on this. Don't worry, it'll happen. So we want to show a tooltip. Show tooltip, show and update. Yeah, then we need a process that's going to update these whenever the tooltip is showing. And our tooltip in this case is going to be the town's tooltip. And we need to customize the content of that. Good, unreliable magician. Good. Yeah, so set text. Okay, let's go get this. So we initialize this with a tooltip. Private tooltip. All right, set that there as well. Change the init call to be with a tooltip. Does this have the town? Yes, it does. Town.town tooltip. Okay, so when you hover over this thing, we're going to show the tooltip. And we're going to set its content. Set text. This should show buffs. And over here, we're going to hide this. Actually, to the point where we don't need this is mouse over to be here. I guess just delete that. And the text only needs to be set once in the beginning of this. No, never mind. Other things can set the text as well. We only need to compute the text once. So we can say private string tooltip text. Oh, nice. I knew what I wanted. All right. This actually just, whatever, make this null. Like that. And then here we need to compute this. This should show buffs, and then delete this. Good. Let's go try that out. Unreliable Magician's a great name. Whoever has that name must be awesome. They must be. People are going to start making me memorize names everywhere. Oh yeah, this icon's not even showing up. When you have mods, we need it to show up. So in the instance, actually, I guess this thing could just control its own visibility. If mods.count equals 0, visible equals false. Yeah, that's it. And then there's no way to mouse over this. My left monitor is just going to be filled with whole kinds of chats that we have here. I'll start streaming on every single platform. 2 viewers on all of them. All right, so it's not showing up because I don't have any mods. If I drag this here and then start another battle, now it should show up, and it is not. It means something is broken. Oh, nothing setting visible equal to true. Got it. So this is equal to mods.count is greater than 0, or mods.any. I wonder if it's going to say to just use count. Does not contain a definition for that. It's a link thing. Whatever, anyway, greater than 0. Twitter stream. Can you still stream on Twitter? I feel like every platform added streaming, and then some of them were like, yeah, this isn't actually useful. Okay, doesn't show up. That's working as intended. Then we click over here, and it should show up. Yes, good. This pink rectangle. Oh, why is it a pink rectangle? Oh, there we go. I think that fixed it. I just needed to click Godot once. All right, so now when we start a battle. Yeah, nice. It's not very obvious that it's even there. I mean, we could move this to the left a little bit. Maybe that would help. Also, you can hover over this through the UI. So I guess at the end of the battle, we want to hide that. Does the instance hides the flee button. Where does it do that? Right here, battle ended. Okay, so we also want to hide the battle mods icon. Give it a whole square and background, it would be pretty visible. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do at first is just not worry about any of this stuff and save it for a UI pass. Because I want to ideally finish all the enchanting stuff today. Oh, I don't have any buffs. Okay, cool. So now we need to make this tooltip show you the right stuff, which is mostly code we already have. We showed this in the Enchanter den. We have this stuff here. And we want this, but without the timers and without the instruction text. So this should be moved to some common location that everything can call into. And we're going to need to pass it the mods and which item category those mods are for. Otherwise, we can't get this to work, right? Alternatively, we could pass it the crystals, but that won't help. Completely wild and caught me off guard. It's pretty cool. It's a cat planet. Is there any way we can do this? Because yeah, the way that we get the mods for battle is just as a list, but the mods don't know which item category they're for. Battle mod data. It can't, right? We have a battle mod ID. Yeah, there's no way for us to know that. Because a weapon and a potion could have the same buff. Maybe they both give you a power increase. So the only way to know this then is to have passed this in. And the only reason we're passing it in is so that we can color the text correctly. Yeah. Hey, about this. Well, what do I want to do about that? Well, for one, how about we make this function look like what it should look like? So private void, we'll say like get tooltip from battle mods, and we need a dictionary of item category to battle mod ID, mods by category. And then we need some of this text to happen. Just copy paste it all here. And instead of going through the crystals, we're going to go through this for each. It should have a key value pair, right? Does it not know how to do this? I was hoping it would just type this in. Oh, nice, it does. Okay, good. Okay, so the item data is going to be the pair dot first, I think, key. If active mod is none, so if the pair dot value is none, and this is going to be the, oh, darn it. The crystal itself has the description in there? Why did I do that? Is any of this necessary? Because there's a timer? Oh my God. Okay, we can't do this then. Yeah, we can't do this. Because we won't have crystals. We could pass in, I mean, there could be a timer thing set. So it's an item category to a mod data or mod with time, ID with time. And then in the case that, oh man. If you're looking for when you followed, it was September 22nd, 2015, which you find by just clicking your name. So you are one of the first followers of this channel. When was your first message? 2017. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Bearpuss. I like the name. All right. Well, this is going to be a nice little refactoring puzzle. But before we even get to this point, we need to figure out how to get this information over to the battle window. So we have an init that takes in the mods. No, we get that from the town. Town.enchanterden.active mods. Yeah, this. Hey, Zytron. Started watching you in 2017. I think you told me your old Twitch name as well. Well, I've forgotten it now. I was keeping a list of aliases that people had, and it just got to be too big to the point where I'm like, there's no reason to keep track of this. At some point, I'll just forget your entire reputation. You'll have a new name. Also, I took a long enough break when I was working at Google that I forgot a lot of the minutia. All right, so this is a list of mod IDs. What we could do is we could make it a dictionary of item categories to mod IDs and then use that information. Alternatively, this is a list, and we could just assume that the list is always in order of potion, armor, weapon. But that's kind of stupid. Yeah, fine. What uses this? Literally only this. Okay, so then that makes it a little bit better. So this would be a dictionary of item category battle mod ID. Yeah. And we don't want to filter where these are none. This is kind of weird. I also forgot the syntax for making a dictionary. Is that right? The battle mod ID. It's not. I think there's a colon in here somewhere. Whoops. No, I don't remember how you do this. And I think we did it somewhere, but I don't remember where. All item data, maybe? Oh, yeah. We made a new and then this. And then it's, oh, that's very different syntax from what I thought. This equals new. So we're supposed to have done it like this. Okay. And then this turns into new. Like that. All right. We made a dictionary. Great. Have you seen What We Do in the Shadow? What We Do in the Shadows, excuse me. Is that what it's called? Yeah, that's what it's called. There's this concept of energy vampires who were vampires who just told you really boring stories and fed off of the energy they were draining from you. I feel like that's what, yeah. You're not quite an energy thief. You're like a disappointment vampire. You should change that to your title on your resume. All right, so we can now get the active mods with the categories that they came from, and then leave it to the instance to figure this stuff out. You got some coworkers like that. The energy vampire thing, I think that was a very funny idea from the show. I didn't watch very much of the show, but I like that idea, and I started noticing when there are energy vampires in real life. And for me, I think the worst is when there's an extrovert who is chatty. I think it's okay if they're having like a real conversation, and I think it's okay if it is not incessant, but this kind of person just like completely drains my energy. I've seen enough examples of this now. I am very much an introvert. I do not mind being social or chatty myself. I have limited energy for it. All right, so this can't work here. This needs to now be a dictionary, and we're always going to pass in the mods like so. Oh, but if that doesn't exist, then we need to pass it in the dictionary. Yeah. All right. Fixated introverts. Yeah, I guess that too. Man, it doesn't take a lot for me to get sort of drained by a conversation, I guess. I now need to pass this stuff in differently. Yeah. All right, so set up battle mod system. What does this do? I set this up, and all we cared about here are the values. We don't care which items they came from. So actually, this is kind of dumb. We should just make it this way. And then wherever this is called from, this can be mods.values. .toList, I guess. Can be simplified. Oh, well, with the brackets. Yeah. I heard about one of my coworkers' dogs stealing his pillow at night every day for the past year. This is some kind of like modern torture. It reminds me of Office Space where what's his name, Lumberg, is approaching from like the other side of the room across the whole cubicle maze, and before you know it, he's already there at the cubicle. You see your coworker across the hall, and you're like, "Oh God, no! Please don't see me." And they walk over, and you're like, "Please don't tell me about your dog." And then they tell you about your dog, their dog. There's no escaping it. It's just your life. You must have done something very, very wrong at some point. All right, let's get this here. All right, so we set the mods. We don't even need to save these now that I think about it. Yeah, we just need to use them here. Okay, so This is where the refactoring puzzle comes in, because this should not be that challenging, but it might be challenging. We want, do I still have that picture open? No, I don't. We want a picture, I gotta go get the picture. Otherwise it's gonna be really hard to envision. Let's delete this. And let's try running this. American dog pillow torture. Okay, so I want a picture. Oh, wait. Oh, I did take a picture, didn't I? Yeah, it is. Yeah, cool. This is what I want. Oh, I guess as long as we've got this open, let me just take a picture in color and not negative color. There. So this is what we want to have show up without the times, which again, I can kind of X these out. So we don't want the times. We don't even have them, and they don't apply anyway. So the dark gray is for what? The no enchantment text. Okay, so we're gonna need that. If it's null or empty, this is what's setting the color for the first time. We need that. We need this, but the description needs to not contain a time in it. And we get it right from tooltip, which I guess is not too bad. So we just need a mod ID. If you don't have, no, we also need the timer. The timer could go from here, yeah. I wasn't going to the house except to work, and I felt like every conversation, my only contribution was to talk about that. Yeah, it's natural to talk about what's going on in your life, and if what's going on in your life isn't very dynamic or interesting to other people, then it might feel like you don't have anything you can talk about. But at least what I've found is when there's nothing going on in my life, I can at least talk to the other person about what's going on in their life. There's like a whole category of people out there who do not take an interest. I don't know how else to say that. They just literally do not express a care about what it is you're saying. And they're not even bad or mean people. I think it's just a lack of wherewithal of how to move a conversation forward. Always had to one-up you. You went on a trip. They went to a better place. You achieved something. Yeah, I mean, that's okay, Kevin, but I've seen people who two-up you, and those are the worst. Yeah, that is frustrating, but I don't think I've met a lot of people like that, to be honest. So I wasn't sure it was clear. All right, so we take the description. This needs to change. And then the rest of this stuff, this needs to change as well. Okay, so I'm going to see if we can do this. We need a generic function, but they can also take in the times, which means it needs to be able to get... No, maybe this is dumb. Maybe the way we should do this is we should just pass in the 3 strings that we want, and it'll color them for us. Yeah, so this should be like color enchantment tooltips, or format enchantment tooltips. All right, I think this is smart. Yeah, tooltips by category. All right, so there's gonna be this. We get the... Wait, how's this gonna work? Paradox value equals none. The dark gray would have been applied already, so we don't do this. Text enchantments, that looks good, so we delete this. Wait, no, we need to know the color of the first one. Oh, darn it. This is so stupid. Is the lore thought out? Do you want me to sigh or do you want me to answer your question? Because I can either fuel you or give you knowledge. Man, this is a quirk about how the bulleted lists work where you need to put the first color into the the title essentially before you get to the unordered list. And we won't know that color at the time. I guess we could also pass in the first item color. We could detect it from the text. We'd have to do some parsing though, which I think would be silly. Yeah, we could pass it in. Tooltips by category and then like string first color. This is so stupid. All right, so this would turn into first color. The first bullet's color tag needs to appear before the UL. Is that true? Otherwise it gets to be white, I think, every time. All right, anyway, then we add in each string that we have here. String tooltip pair.value. This entire thing goes here. Then we add in this. Then this is whether or not we should show. No, this should just return a string. And then the caller can do this at the end. Yeah, so we just return text. Oh man. Do you need a list for the tooltips? Can't you do a simple dash or I guess we could. No, that would only prevent us from having to pass in the first color. Yeah. Although I want to see what this looks like using what we have so far. Because I guess the only issue would be if we had another unordered list in the same tooltip and then it had different formatting as a result of us doing things kind of funkily here. But yeah, let's see. Okay, so if I do private void set tooltip using new function. Okay, so we're going to copy this. This is going to be a mess. We're going to call this function at some point. String text equals this. So we need tooltips by category and first color. Then we add in this to the text. Then we do that stuff. Yeah, cool. Now we need to form this. And then the real test is, can we do this inside the battle as well? Tooltips by category. We go through each crystal and we set this equal to this. Color. We don't need this. Wait, nothing changes the color though, does it? Oh, it's what the first color is going to be. First color equals data.text color. So stupid. This is so stupid. String.empty. All right, so if we are on the first one of these, data.text color, unless it's null, this is getting it for the item category. Okay, cool. Yeah, so if first color is null or empty, whoops, why does that pop up? All right, we're gonna set it to either this dark gray, otherwise the text color. Cool, 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 cool. Yes, now this needs to have the color string in here, like so. And I think we're good. What is the top level UI element? I think there can be a top level UI element eventually. I just want there to be something in the game for this stuff to work right now. Yeah. Don't want to be scanning over to the Enchanter and then checking a tooltip or scanning the crystals manually. Yeah, I think we'll eventually also have something in the UI. But I don't want you to have to hover over individual crystals because I think that you're always going to just want to see what are all of them at a glance. Okay, now the only problem here is that we needed whatever the current color was. This is ridiculous. But this is slightly better. All right, there. Let's try it. Oh man, this doesn't need to exist. And this is never used. Does it work? It looks like it's working. We don't have any weapons. Wow. So now let's make them all run out. Okay, it's not adding the text at the end here, which is this active mods.count. I guess we need to know active mods always exist. We want to know if any of them have, if maybe all. This isn't going to work, is it? M dot value equals none. Yeah, that. All right, we'll move on to use local variable color. This is just for the first color. Don't need data here anymore, which means we don't even need the item category here anymore. This can just be a list of strings. Yeah, except we want the order to be the same every time, but I think the order is going to be the same by virtue of this stuff being the same. Yeah, I think we just make this a list of strings. I mean, especially if we're not using the key here, which we're not, yeah. I read only list string tooltips first color. Okay, so for each string tooltip in tooltips. There we go. What is text? That's still fine. Yeah. Then this can change instead of tooltips by category. Oh, wait a sec. No. I think we're good. Yeah, we just never use the category there. Oh, what a ridiculous thing. So this needs to become a list, I suppose, so that we can change it. And then push or add a new string. Call that tooltips. All right. So it had worked originally. And now what we need to do is get the battle mods icon to set the text correctly. It's going to get a dictionary of this stuff. And it needs to go through something like this and then format them. All right, I'm gonna do some stuff. Yeah. For now, let's make this public static. I need to just put it in a different location, but let's not worry about that yet. Okay, so tooltip text equals an empty string. Now we're gonna go through. We gotta call this. We don't need this. Tooltip.setText. This shouldn't be needed either. Yeah, all we need to do is form this. And even this isn't needed. I'm getting there. Enchanter, den. So we can't go through the crystals. We need to go through the mods. And we're just hoping this is in the same order. No, that's not possible. Because it's a dictionary. I don't think dictionaries in C# have ordered keys. Ordered keys. Well, we can, man, we can sort by the key. All right, maybe we need to change how we do this. What is making it be in this order over here? We're just going over Enchanter Crystal, which means this is always going to be in this order, and it's a list, and it's potion, armor, weapon. So to ensure the same order every time, we need to rely on something else here. All right, let's not worry about that yet. Yeah, let's not worry about that yet. Let's just do this. Key value pair. It should be able to fill in the code that I want here. Why is Copilot not kicking in? There we go. I just want to type out the generics. All right, so go through each mod. Now get the mod.key. So the active mod, this is mod.value. And then get the buff description, which right now we don't have an easy way of doing this. So I'm gonna pull this code out from over here. This would be either no enchantment if it's none, or it would be the item category. Yeah. It's either no enchantment or it's the tooltip. And I need to extract that out to a common function as well. String description equals nothing, it doesn't matter. So if mod.value is none, get the data based on the key, set the description equal to that. What's the problem with this? Data cannot be declared because the name is used in an enclosing scope. What? Is it? Oh yeah, there it is. Oh, then we already do this. Okay, so then we can delete that. Otherwise, do this stuff. And set description equal to this. Okay. All right, I think this should work. It's still a little bit ugly and nothing is guaranteeing the order. So we got to write down two things. One, the coming up with the description should be done in a common place. And there's nothing guaranteeing the order of the mods. Oh, and then the static function I made is probably in the wrong place. Store reference to the item category it supports in the order you support it, then fetch from the dictionary passed in to make the tooltips. Yeah, I could do that. I could have like here's the dictionary, now process it in the right order. We could have it not be a dictionary. We could have it be a list that's already in the right order. All right, so we gotta start a battle with some enchantments. Actually, let's start a battle without enchantments first. Okay, that broke. Given key, none was not present in the dictionary. What? Where is this? All battle mod data? This means we're trying to create a mod that doesn't exist? Where's that coming from? Oh, I know what's happening. I'm now passing in when these things are even set to none. We need to not ever add a mod if it's none. If mod equals none, continue. Item categories are in a new with an int that conserves the order. Yeah. Yeah, so as long as you sort based on that, we should be fine. Okay, so start a battle. We should not even see the icon. The icon exists. There's an ordered dictionary as well. I see. Yeah. I still need to think about which solution we want to apply for that. Okay, here's an interesting thought. This icon should not show up if you haven't unlocked the Enchanter. But if you've unlocked the Enchanter, should we show this and it tells you explicitly when you have no enchantments? I don't know. I don't know what you would expect as a user. All right, well, that's a question we're going to have to answer at some point. Should the crystal icon in battle only show up when you have mods? Or should it show up and just tell you in the tooltip that none are active? Yeah, change it to the gray one. I think that's a good idea. Just change to the gray texture when there are no mods. And also don't show the icon at all if you haven't unlocked the Enchanter, since it would be confusing. Okay. So then, ignoring that part, if we drag a sword over to here, we get the blue enchantment. Substitution by word and line. Interesting. Okay, here we go. Make all adventurers act 5% faster. So now if we put this here, it should not affect the tooltip. It doesn't. But if we start a new battle, it will. Yep. And if we put a potion there and then start a new battle, we should have all the enchantments. Cool. And these do not show times. For whatever reason, the word enchantments is very tiny. Why? What did that? I think it's because... Actually, I don't know what's doing that. Where's the word enchantment show up? Oh, there it is. Font size equals 12 enchantments. And that was in update tooltip, which we moved to... Oh, set tooltips using new function is never even used. Whoops. All right, so then presumably we messed up the font size. No. What? Let's try this again. Oh, we have an error here. Oh, I just forgot to comment out the whole thing. My bad. Nice spells. Huh, weird. This is showing with the right size text. Why doesn't it show with the right size text in battle? What is making that tiny? So confused about that. Font size 12. Repeat the battle. Huh, yeah, I don't get it. Some sort of header element. Let me see if it's doing anything. I'll change the font size to 24. And if that doesn't make it look even a little bit larger, then I'm not really sure what's going on. Maybe we're not closing tags correctly. Well, I'd be pretty surprised about that. Okay, so now it's gigantic over here. How does it look in battle? It's bigger over here too. That would suggest that the default font size is being pulled in from the parent element, and then I must have set this on tooltip. Is that correct? Rich text label, font size. Font size is not overridden. And I doubt I did this on the tooltip. I don't even remember how you do this. No, it doesn't even have a theme. What? Can you look at the BB code in the scene tree? Yeah, I can. Let's do that. Although it's got to be the right BB code, because clearly when we set this to 24, it worked. It's got to be something where the font size is just larger on regular text, maybe, or something. I don't know. We need battles to last forever for this to be possible. So all enemy data. Let's give bats like 1,000,000 HP. There. And then we can just turn on invincibility. Maybe I should have an enemy invincibility flag as well, so we don't need to ever do that. But all right, toggle invincibility, then start a battle. And there, now it's set. Now we can go look at this thing. UI, tooltip. Yeah, I got the right BB code. It's got font size equals 12. Is there a way to tell what font size we have set? Does this have a theme? Something might have a theme somewhere. Apparently, this, whatever this is, a canvas layer cannot have a theme on it. Can this? Yes, but it doesn't. This town? No. Nothing actually has a theme here. I don't know. I don't know what's doing that. Huh. Yeah. Is the text size different as well? I guess this is in world space, so it's kind of hard to tell. We need to zoom out to 1x, which is probably that level. Just don't understand why these would look different. "12" looks like it's shrinking the text. So then, yeah, I think it's just here we need a size of 24 and here we need a size of 12. I don't know why. Because relative to the strings within the tooltip, these should, like, the gray text should be what, 2/3 the size of the white text or something like that. So it should be the same thing over here too, and it's not. I just don't know what would change the font size. Instance slot is where we have. No, this still all exists in tooltip. I guess the. Where does. There's a tooltip here. Did I override this one? Oh, I did. I said, oh my God. I set the font size to 8. Okay, well, that explains it. All right. So what should we have done for this? We're reusing a common tooltip. So if we were to change the font size, we need to change it back at the end of using this tooltip. Or just whenever something shows the content, it's got to be able to set the normal font size. Out of curiosity, what if we just change this right now? And I just set the font size of this to be 8. I guess we need editable children. And then change the font size to be 8. Did that take effect already in the world? Oh, okay, yeah, that did take effect. So now the relative sizes are what I would expect them to be. And now they're just really tiny. So what we could do. We could just make this always show in screen coordinates. And that way you don't need to zoom in to see this, because I think this is awkward anyway. Yeah, I think that's a better fix. Okay, I think that's what we'll do. Make the Enchanter tooltip show in screen space. That way the camera doesn't affect it. Yeah. All right, now let's stop worrying about this stuff and just go through our to-do list. So I'm going to set this to not be editable anymore. That way we don't have anything like that. All right, so come up with a description. Should be done in a common place. The crystal currently does this for itself. This is going to be based on what exactly? An item category and a battle mod ID. So we're going to need this to exist somewhere. Public static string get, I don't know, battle mod description. Item category, battle mod ID, cool. And we're going to put this in there. This goes here, this goes here. This is deleted. And this goes here, yeah. Excuse me. Hey, Lemmy. Will the instance tooltip tell players that a newly added enchantment will only apply for the next battle? I don't think so, because I think this is the kind of thing that you would be able to tell yourself if you were curious about it. You could just apply an enchantment and then see, did it affect the battle? And you'll see that it won't. And if you are still confused about that, it's like, it's probably not super impactful in the game. Also, there is a tooltip in the game that says that new skills won't affect the battle. And this works the same way. But like I said, I think trial and error is enough for players to be able to realize how it works. Okay, so in our case over here, we can do this. We can say tooltip equals get the description for item category and the active mod, and then delete this stuff. Yeah. Get tooltip. We don't need this anymore. Oh, but there's a duration that I'm just forcing into here. Drat. So we only want to add the duration in the, yeah. I guess this works. So now what we can do is get rid of the code that I put into the battle mods icon. So instead of getting the description like this, we can get it from Enchanter Crystal. And we want that. Cool. Now this first color stuff I think is also in common between these. Where do we do the dark gray stuff? Here. Can we consolidate this somehow? This adds a color and then gets it from the buff description. This adds a color and then gets it from the description. What if we pass in a time and the time can be null? And if the time exists, then we have this function do this for us. I think that would be probably better because then we can get this code that's in common to be in one spot. Yeah. Okay. Hey, Meow Mew. Okay, so for time, I guess we put a nullable string, time or duration string. Duration string. Maybe we could pass in the time left as a double, and if it's negative, then we just ignore it. Yeah, double time left. I think that's dumb. Yeah, I think it's dumb. Just pass in the string, you get it, how it get formatted. All right, well, let's start as a string. So duration string equals null. And then in here, if duration string is not equal to null, this is going to be the description. And in this case, we're going to return this. Oops. Otherwise, we're going to return just the description. Cannot convert null literal to non-nullable reference type. Okay. So now buff description can do everything that we see in here. And we just say to return, I guess we don't even need to figure out the time remaining if we know that there's no mod. So technically this is some like slightly overkill that we have here. Battle mod description. Yeah, there. Okay. And now what we're hoping we can do here is get the color. This is still not going to work. Oh, this is such a mess. Because we need to know what that first color was. And I use that from here. Yeah. It could it could return two things. It could return a string and the first color that was used. But that's probably not smart. All right. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do with this. I mean, we have it working already, so I guess we should probably just keep it like that. Yeah. Yeah. All right. And we can just worry about the refactoring later. That way I don't spend too long on this. And it doesn't really matter. And probably there's not going to be anything else that shows you this. And if it is, we'll just end up copy pasting one of these functions, probably the Enchanter den one. So I don't think it's going to make a big difference. But I did this for a reason, and I don't even remember what the reason was anymore. I guess that get battle mod description could pass in the null, whatever. I don't know. All right, let's just move on. Yeah, let's make sure this works. I'm not super happy with this. This is looking good. This is looking good. When we drag one of these onto here and then start a new battle, this one's looking good. And this is, yeah, nice. Cool. Yeah, so it's working how I want it to work. Yeah. So coming up with the description should be done in a common place. That is now done here, correct? Yes. Okay, we just still have some other code. Nothing guaranteeing the order of the mods, and yet the mods are always in the correct order. So why is that the case? Huh. Do I even use these in terms of increasing item category? Where do we do this? Potion, armor, weapon. And we have weapon, armor, potion. So no, we don't. Oh, nothing is sacred. Potion, armor, weapon is the order we want them in. Yeah, we could just use an ordered dictionary. Type or namespace not found. Is it not a thing? Ordered dictionary? System collections generic? System collections specialized. That's why the key are indexed. Surprised they never say in here that this is ordered. Not sorted by the key. What? All right, I'm not going to worry about that. I think whenever it comes to rendering these things, we just need to render them correctly here. Where did that code go? I don't even know. Yeah, I don't know. Where did I put that? The thing that sorts by the lines that we passed in. Oh, here it is. Yeah, so this has the tooltips and we need to know the first color. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I just don't like it. I want to change this stuff. I want to make it deterministic. I want to get rid of the duplicated code. And I've laid the groundwork for this. Let's get to the description, but there are no colors in here. The color then needs to get applied by something else. Yeah. Okay, so what I want to do, I think this is coming together. What I want to do is I want to pass in a list of item categories and battle mod IDs and have this thing figure out what to do with all of this. Is that what's going on here too? Item category and mod ID. Yeah. Okay. It's coming together. So what we need is something that does that. And it returns the tooltips and the first color, I guess. Although if it's going to do that, it might as well just do all of the rest of this stuff. And then is that, please tell me that's going to be good enough. Yes, I think that will be good enough. Okay. Whew. So string form enchantment tooltip. This needs to be renamed because it's confusing already, but we're going to pass in a list of item categories and only list pair item category and battle mod ID. I'll just call it mods. Wait, apparently need the pair class. Key value pair? Wasn't there a pair? Oh, tuple. Oh my god. I'll never remember that. Then we want to do the code that we have here. Okay. Tuple item. Yep, there we go. All right, so we need the item category. That is item 1. And then we need the mod. That's item 2. Then we get the description from this. And we pass this in over here with a color. It's going to be great. Don't worry. Then we return this. Okay, then this function can now be used, I think. We just need to start from here. So all this stuff goes away. Oh, I'm glad we're reformatting this. Now we just need the list of categories. So we go through crystals.toList. No. I want a map. I forgot what map is called though. I don't know, maybe it's select. C# link map. Map introduced in .NET. Select, yeah, select. I love the pick and off topic. Oh my god. I don't know why this is super zoomed in. What a nice picture. That is nice. C, and we need to return a new tuple of item category to battle mod ID. And it's going to be c.item category c.active mod. All right, now what's the problem here? Cannot convert from IEnumerable to a list. Yeah, so we just got to call toList on this. Oh, all right, there's that one. And then the other one is, instead of doing all of this stuff, does this call the other format function? Yes, it does. All right, so we got to do the same thing over here. So we delete all this. We say tooltip text equals enchanter.form. And here we're going to go over each mod, which is a dictionary, and return m.key, m.value. So we haven't done the ordering stuff yet. That's not finished. But there. Let's try that. That has gotten rid of the duplicated code, and it got rid of just it fixed a lot for us. And then all we need to do is the ordering, which we can do from that one function now. So potion, armor, weapon, that's exactly the order it used to be in. This is looking good. And this is looking good. Hooray, we did it. All right, I'm glad I took another look because that really didn't end up being that hard. Yeah, are these all the same? Yes. Oh, these don't have times now. Ooh, whoops. Okay, how do we mess that up? Oh, because we can't just pass it. Oh, man. Yeah, whoops. We can't just pass in the mods. We need to also pass in a time, potentially. So this will be a double. Can we... Maybe I'll just make it a string question mark. Yeah. Okay, and then C dot, we don't have a way of getting the time left. Yeah, this is just not doable. So we're gonna need to expose that. Public. Oh, it's actually this. Yeah, whatever. Public string duration string. I want to do this code in here. Get this. Okay, and then we can pass that in. So duration string. And over here, get battle mod description needs to pass in the duration string mod to item 3. There is no item 3 because this is a dictionary. Oh man. Oh wait, no, that's not why. Because I just didn't put this in there. Okay, and then the last thing we need to fix is over here, where this needs to pass in null. And I guess return a string question mark as well. Okay, so that should make it so that durations show up. All right, this ended up being a lot longer than I thought it would be to do. And I am sure I could have done this in a better way. What's the problem now? Does not contain a constructor that takes 3 arguments? Wait, really? Oh, I wonder how you make an arbitrary bundling of types without making a new record struct or something. I probably should just make a record struct at this point. C# tuple with 3 elements. Create it using 2 different ways. Using this or using create. Wait, what? It said it can't do this though. Does not contain a constructor that... What? No, it definitely does work that way. Did I just not build? Don't know how that would have happened. Oh, yeah, it works now. Okay. All right, so drag an item out of a pot to enchant it. It should show the time now. Yes, 59 seconds, but the battle one should not. Good. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, so that fixes one of the issues. But then there's nothing guaranteeing the order of the mods. That's what we got to go do now. Use anonymous types in C#. Oh, neat. Yeah, in this case, we have a nullable type, so I think we would need to make it clear that it can be null. I'm not sure, though. I did need a 3-pull for that. Okay, so where do we guarantee the order? I guess buff description should never be used anymore. Yeah, it's not being used, so just delete this. Hey, L:*Q. How goes it? Also, considering that L:*Q shouts everybody out like once per minute, here's a shout out for L:*Q. Yeah, he's a great streamer. He's almost constantly chatting with people and still getting stuff done. Very lispy over there. How's the game going along? It's going well. We've been working on the Enchanter. So a lot of people have been requesting that you can equip items in the game. And I've been very opposed to that because you have so many different classes in the game that I didn't want you to have to click like rogue. Okay, what sword do I want? Okay, equip the sword. Now mage, which armor do I want? Okay, go equip the armor. So instead, there's this Enchanter that you unlock. And the way it works is you drag an... Oh, I just took the item from me. You drag an item onto one of these pots and it deletes the item, but then gives you an enchantment. So here we've lit up the green crystal, which is slowly going to fade out here. And we've given all of our adventurers +1 power. So now when you go start a battle, we can hover over this thing and it says, yeah, you got 1 more power. And you can put a sword buff on and a potion buff. So you can have all of these going at once. It only affects new battles though, so I need to start a new one over here. And then yeah, there we go. So now you can see heal all adventurers for 50% of their max life after the battle ends. Grant all adventurers +1 power and make all adventurers act 5% faster. So yeah, it's gonna be great. Builds a code and displays the build errors. They won't show up if you run from Godot. They won't show up if I run from Godot? What, really? So these things will, well, those won't go away, I guess. I don't even know where the errors are anymore. Maybe that just fixed it. Maybe not. Retro MMO vibes. Yeah, but this is a single player game, just to be clear. Anyway, I'm very happy with this system, and I want to see what people think about it as they use it. There's a lot of balance implications of this. Yeah. Oh, never mind. I'm unfollowing. No, it's totally fine, by the way, if you don't like the idea of this being single player. But this is a largely automated game. So you are running a town, and all these characters walking around with items will eventually put them in your shop so that you can sell them, and then customers go buy the items. So that's why you see a bunch of people walking around. They're not real people. And if I grant more of this and grant more of this and put some points in the Swift shoes and grant some cloning points, which actually I can't do that way. Yeah, nice. And then any items I don't want, I just drag into this trash can right here. Oh yeah, nothing guaranteeing the order of the mods. Let's go take a look at that. So here we're going through the mods just in whatever order this determined for it. But we should go through them always in the order of potion, armor, weapon. So this is a list. We can just sort the list. I guess we need a new list. And we need it with the double of all of this garbage. We should probably just make this into its own type at some point. I see. Gotcha, Mr. Friend. Either way, it's totally fine. Yeah, it is not multiplayer. All right, so sorted mods. Mods that order by m.item1. Actually, it can't be m.item1. How do we do this? We need to, how does order by even work? Oh, just ascending order. Okay, so what we need to do is come up with an ordering that puts these into the right order, which I guess is just reverse order. Is there another argument to order by that lets you say it's descending? You can pass in a comparer. But this has order with descending false. So yeah, you can presumably just write descending. True. Oh, it's, no, what? What function was that? It's just order. All right, well, whatever. Let's just put a negative here, and that should work the same way. Why doesn't this work? Operator times can be applied to int and item category. Oh, right. We need to make it an int. Negative int. I think the -1 times makes it more obvious that it's happening, though. And then to list, sure. Simplify this to square brackets. All right. Then we go through sorted mods, right? And now they should be in the same order every time. All right, so if we wanted to, what we could do is we could order this the other way without a -1, and that's going to put them in a different order, and that should at least that should confirm that we've done this correctly, I think. There's order by descending as well. Okay, yeah, we could use that. All right, so now this is weapon, armor, potion. Yes, good. And we could say order by descending, and now it should be the other way around. Hey, TJ. Wow, ridiculous. Okay, potion, armor, weapon. Perfect. We rely on, we use the reverse enumeration order, because that just happens to be what we want. By the way, if this ever got out of order, if somehow we showed armor first and then potion, it really wouldn't be the end of the world. It's just that it matches right now the colors of the crystals. So orange corresponds to really red of your shop over here. Green corresponds to the roof of this building, and then blue corresponds to the roof of this building. So it's just another little way of you potentially being able to remember what's what. But it doesn't really matter because when you go to drag an item, you can only put it on the pot that is highlighted green, and it knows. So you don't have to know. Okay, so that's done. And then static functions need to be put into the right place. So where do these things go? Form enchantment tooltips. Hey, Aaron. If you were to just get into coding, what would you start with? Interested in building an app, but learning development hasn't been interesting. I've got some advice in that link I just shared, the Learn link. But I think what you're talking about is more like, how do I stay motivated? And for this, it's, yeah, pick a domain that you're interested in. And maybe there's nothing, which I'd find surprising, but games, web dev, like utilities that you might write, I don't know, like puzzles, there are a lot of coding challenges, or any number of other things. And, oh, Crows, thanks for resubbing. And for 3 months in advance. Thanks. And I think that for a lot of people, it's something visual. So games, web dev, I think that tends to keep people's interest a little bit more. And for any of these, there is a beginner route to starting with them. So for games, for example, you might start by making Pong and then making Snake and then making Tetris and then, I don't know, Breakout and then some other whole bunch of things. And then eventually the game you want to make. Although something to keep in mind is that even if you don't want to make Pong as a game, it's still hopefully fun for you to do as a beginner. So yeah, I'd say to figure out what it is you like. And if you're not sure what you like, maybe look at what apps and stuff you use and think if you were to make any of those, would you find that fun? Because generally tying it to something you're already interested in is what's going to help with motivation. All right, so both these need to be somewhere, and where makes the most sense. So what are we doing here? We're taking in pretty much battle mods. So I guess we could put them into here somewhere. Maybe we make like a tooltip class. Battle mod tooltip formatter. Yeah, so we're going to put both those over there. Probably got to rename this. Public static class tooltip formatter. Okay, delete all that. All right, now we just need 1,000,000 imports. Although we can just let this thing figure it out for us. Yep. All right, now I believe nothing is calling one of these functions. We need to delete this. We need to delete this. We need to put this in the battle mod tooltip formatter. And then this exists somewhere else too, this one. And as mentioned now, this should build. I hope. Did it? It's always hard to tell. Yeah, there's just warnings. Okay, it built and then nothing calls this other than the function right above it. Yeah, so this can be made private. And this could be form tool tip. And what is this thing doing now? This is making a list out of it. Make list. Make BB code list. Yeah. Wait. Yeah. Starting the timer on a new buff only once the next battle begins. It could feel bad to lose time on a cool buff because something comes up or if you got to do something else first. It's an interesting idea. I guess I am kind of punishing you for having travel time in the game and otherwise forcing you to time something correctly. Yeah, I think we can write that down as an idea. I think it's a nice thing to do. And if we don't do it, that you these buffs are set to pretty much a minimum of 60 seconds, which is certainly long enough to start at least one battle. Probably many battles. But yeah, it's probably the right thing to do. So I'll write this down as an idea. All right, anything else we got here? I don't think so. We renamed this stuff. I don't know if there are any other static functions, but we'll find it during the code review time. And then this and this we still need to do. So it's don't show the icon at all. And change it to that. And then put the tooltip in world space and delete this picture. Oh, all right, let's check in the first thing. Yeah. This takes in a time, which is the string that we get here, which is not obvious at all. I should really make that a record class. I'll just write that down. That's a cleanup thing. It's not very important. Clean up. Make the 3 tuple a record struct so that the member variables are obvious. Yeah, I'm not going to do that now, though. This should not be checked in. This is because I changed how we pass in these buffs. Just call it a suffix, not necessarily always a duration. Yeah, I think it's fair. Could call the string question mark a suffix and comment that it would probably typically be used for the duration remaining. Looks good. This can all be deleted. This can be deleted. Yeah, nice. This really, really simplifies this class. So it's basically just show a tooltip and set the text once when it gets created. Oh, what's this doing here? This shouldn't be here, right? What is this? This is used from here. Yeah, this shouldn't be here. This should be a private static function over in the other class. Private. Okay. Let's run a .NET format. Make sure we don't have any imports we don't need anymore. Yeah. Nice, I think. Is this using this correctly? Yes, yes, it is. Yeah, yeah. Okay, did this finish? Yeah. Whew. All right, one last look through this to make sure we didn't format some file that we didn't mean to touch, because if so, we'll just check that in on its own with a fixed linting error commit message. So far, so good. No, yeah, there, right there. All item category data. That can be checked in on its own. Remove unnecessary import. Any others like that? Instance slot, storeroom, and town. Instance slot, storeroom, and town. Amend commit. Fix linting errors. Okay, so now we can check this stuff in. This is all the stuff that had to do with battle mods. So show enchantments in battle. There's now a crystal icon that shows regardless of whether or not you've unlocked the Enchanter. When you hover over it, it will tell you all enchantments affecting the current battle. Yeah. Okay, next. Don't show the icon if you haven't unlocked the Enchanter. Okay, so where do we know that you've unlocked the Enchanter? I guess if this thing is not null. Okay, that should be dead simple. So then let's go to instance. And we initialize this thing with the town. But I guess it just shouldn't even show unless you've unlocked the Enchanter. And if you haven't unlocked the Enchanter, you can't have enchantments. So we don't even need to initialize this thing, right? No, we don't. Okay, so if town.enchanterden is not equal to null, then initialize it. Don't show the icon at all if you can't even have enchantments yet. We're going to get rid of this skip tutorial thing so that we can test this. Skip tutorial. Or no, you know, we can just get rid of this. Create Enchanter Den. Yeah. So the other day, if you add another buff before the correct one was complete, it would just sit in the queue, but only have a limit of 1. I think you mean the current one's complete. I thought about that, and I want to hold off on a queue system for now. The more I think about, there was like an identity crisis for this game. So it's sort of in the idle genre, but I don't want to go full idle, if that makes sense. And for some time we were like, what active elements can we add? So now what I think we've settled into is this is a semi-active game, probably leaning toward idle. But it's not going to be the kind of thing where you're staring at it for 5 hours straight, probably, although you could. So I want there to be things that reward you for being active. And this is one of them. If you did not ever, how do we get the Enchanter? I don't even know how you unlock the Enchanter. There's a sign, but nothing makes the sign show up. How do you do this? Enchanter sign. What shows this? Here, this. Show Enchanter sign. What calls that? Literally nothing? Oh, well, that answers that question. Okay, let's just manually call that then. Yeah. Yeah, so I want this to be the kind of thing where if you're present, then you can give yourself buffs using this thing. Before we do this, let's just make certain, okay, yeah, the thing is not showing up there, but as soon as we build the Enchanter's Den, now when we repeat a battle, we should see the icon there. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so if you're here, then you can drag items. And if an item is about to go away, so here we have 58 seconds. If it were down to, let's say, close enough to done, so like right around here, and you're like, you know what, I want another buff, you can drag another item onto here and it'll overwrite the one that existed. So you are losing the value, the remaining whatever 14 seconds of that other buff, but you don't have to wait for it to hit 0 before you can do something else. And originally, the reason why these tables are here with other crystals on them is we wanted this to be the queue system. So you drag another armor and it would put another green crystal here. And then when this one ran out, it would take one of these green crystals. But I think the problem with that is you'd have to be like, what's in the queue? Can I remove things from the queue? I felt like it would add a level of complexity that hopefully we don't need. We just don't need a queue system there. But I think there could be other ways of doing this. Like we could make it so you drag an armor and it fills up only this much of the crystal, indicating that you can drag another couple armors and fill up the crystal even more. And I don't mind doing something like that. You drag the same item multiple times and you get more buffs. But then you'd have to be careful that you are dragging the same item, because maybe there are 2 swords that look the same and you drag them and you end up deleting the old buff that was there. Maybe you'll name the elements by declaring the types as type A, value A. At that point, you're better off with the record. Yeah, I think I'm going to just use the record. All right, so what do we do? Don't show the icon. Yeah, we did that. And then change it to gray when there are no mods. We got to go do that. So Enchanter Den. Yeah, so just delete the town stuff that we have here. Don't show battle mods icon if you... I guess I'll just change it to conditionally show. If you haven't unlocked the Enchanter, then it won't show the icon at all in battle, since there wouldn't be any enchantments to show. That's why I was thinking the only one in the queue. You'd still have the issue though of what is the item in the queue? Can I overwrite it? Can I remove it? And how do I see the details of that? So now instead of having just 3 things in this list, you might need 6 things in this list. The current buff and then the one that's in the queue. And you need to know the details of the one that's in the queue. Like I said, I think it's just it might be something we add in eventually, but I want to base it on how players interact with the game. I think it's a good idea to start with a simple system and then change it based on problems you know exist. All right, so change to the gray texture when there's no mod. We don't have a super easy way of doing this. I mean, it's not that hard to do, but we have this battle mods icon, and what we need to do is change its region to this minus 16, and then it'll turn gray. So that's what we got to go do. Of course, that should be something that is not hard coded. So battle mods icon. Oh, we just said it's visibility here. I don't think we want to do that. I think we just want to say show in here. Hello, internet traveler. Hey, Cathala Grady. Welcome in. So if you only have one, if mods dot, oh wait, no, that's not how that works. It's got to work the way we had this before. Mods dot count. This can't be right. Yeah, we need to check to see if any are active. If mods dot all, this is going to be change texture to inactive. Yeah. All right, now we need to write out this function. So we need to get the texture rect. That is called battle mods icon. No, the icon is the texture rect. Yeah, so we just need to change this thing. And what is the property of this? Texture. Okay, so texture equals, we need a new atlas texture. Or no, we just need to change the region. What am I doing? Texture dot atlas texture region dot x. Oh, we can't do that. Yeah. Equals new rect 2. How about this? Let's get the current region. Rect 2 cur region. And then set it to x minus 16, and then all of the other things that we had here. Y size. Why is that a problem? Does not contain a definition for x. Was it position? Oh. Oh, then maybe, oh, whoops. Maybe we don't need to do this. Maybe we can just subtract. I don't know if that works though. Let's find out. Position.x minus equals 16. Yeah, no, I didn't think it would let you do that. Can't modify it because it's not a variable. Yeah, it's read-only. Okay. Well, that should do it. Let's try that out. I recognize there's a hard-coded 16 here. Right, so we just start a battle. We should see a gray crystal. Yeah, perfect. It says no enchantments. And if you start a battle after you have enchantments, so now let's go start a new battle. It's still gray, which means that this is not working. If all m.value equals, oh, I see. Because this needs to be all mods.values dot all. And then m equals, which is actually at this point an ID. There. Well, even if I use the constant saying to offset by 1 tile, the 1 is still a magic number. Like, we should probably just hard code in the inactive crystal's x coordinate. So this is gray as expected. We drag this over here. This should be colorful. It's still gray. What am I doing wrong here? I'm going to put a breakpoint here. And we're going to start another battle, and it's going to break in, and we're going to see this. Mods.values. Count equals 3. Small power buff. So this has to be false. It is false. What? Did I do something wrong? What? Oh, I think I know what's happening. I think we need to make a new texture for this because otherwise we're changing all of the textures at once. It doesn't make sense though why new ones wouldn't have had this happen. Oh, I see. Because it was called on a previous one. Yeah. Okay. I get it. All right. Yeah, we got to make a new texture here. So how do we do this? We come up with the region it should be, and then just say texture equals new atlas texture, marketplace, and then the region that we actually want. Yeah, I think that should do it. I thought you had the region for inactive somewhere in the Enchanter crystal. You know what? I might. I will need to look at that because it does show up somewhere in the game. Oh, but it's in the scene. We have actually both crystals stacked on top of each other right now. So I think we don't have a way of just getting the texture. All right, so now this shouldn't be a problem, right? So it's gray as expected. We drag this on here. We start a new battle. It should be colorful. It is. We then, I guess, wait a really long time. Yeah, we wait for this to run out. So if I repeat the battle, it should be colorful. Yep, colorful and colorful. I want to hover over it. There, yeah, cool. It's working. Would it make sense to define a constant for each rect in the texture atlas? What I want to do here is just define this one thing. I don't think you can have a constant rect, can you? R equals new. This is going to complain, isn't it? Yeah, can't be constant. But we must have other read-only things here, right? Yeah, we do. So public static read-only rect to inactive enchanter crystal region. And what is it? It's 272. So 256, 192, 1632. And that's what we want to use from here. So this is going to be game constants dot that. And then spell constants correctly. And then we don't need the current region anymore. By the way, there's a fun little transpose character shortcut, which for me at least is Command T. So that if you ever type something like transpose, you can go here and change it. And I like that. Yeah, the audio stream polyphony is just a property. I think I even wrote it down over here. Yeah. There's a max polyphony. If you just change this, it changes the maximum number that can play at a time. And by default, it's set to 1. However, a sound pool might actually be a good idea. I don't know what that does. Is it a thing? This pool of I don't think this is correct anymore. I think you just use the polyphony thing. Playing a different sound interrupted the first one. Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, anyway, yeah, there's apparently a cutting audio issue here. Maybe that'll help. Okay, so this is done. Oh, wait, we didn't test the newest. Let's just try this. Should be very fast. All right, so we start a battle. Should be gray. It is. We start a new battle. Should no longer be gray. By the way, how do people feel about the colorful crystal being used here? I'm using this to represent you have buffs and this to represent you don't. The you don't have buffs, I think is obvious. It's gray. Okay, cool. But this one is all of the colors, and we could represent which specific colors you have. I kind of like just having the one icon and having it be that rainbowy color. But I do think that the icon is very small right now. I wonder if we should just double the size of it. How do we do that? Texture, linear. And layout. Transform 2. Oh, we can't do that. We can set a minimum size. Expand mode. Fit width proportional. I don't think that'll work. So we also set a minimum size of 32 by 64. That even work correctly? Yeah, it does. Although if we make this any larger, yeah, it's not going to keep the aspect ratio. Keep aspect. What is going on? What? What am I doing right now? Also, why isn't this set correctly? Oh, it needs to be nearest. Yeah, sure. I chose linear, but I meant nearest. Is this even larger than it was? I don't... Yeah, I guess so. Okay, well, I think that'll look a little bit better. RIP worm.png. Yeah, I got rid of this thing. Now when I type worker, it goes to worker. Although worm.png.import shows up. But that was never a problem. All right, let's see what this looks like in the game. We just increased the size of the image. Doesn't look good because it's off by a bit. We would need to raise this up. There's a way to do that. We can set the offset, can't we? There is no offset. Wait, what? Oh, here's the offset thing, pivot offset. We can't set it though because this is inside a container. It's a texture rectangle. I guess the HBox container could have this set so that it positions the... Maybe this alignment? Not that one. I don't know. I don't know how to get this to show with the baseline higher up. Yeah, I would have expected that the HBox container would control this. Oh well, it's not really that important. What we could do is we could just raise this up a little bit. The sound is out of sync in your video stream. This happens every once in a while to some viewers, but not all viewers. Does everyone see this happening? Has the audio been desynced for anybody else? Actually, how about this? Could you take a look at the stream on YouTube and tell me if it's better? Yeah, refreshing might help. And let me link this in. And maybe that's better because I don't think it's on my end. Happens to be on multiple streams, definitely a Twitch thing, yeah. All right, I kind of want this crystal to be larger and I kind of want this to just work, but I don't know how to get it to work quickly and I don't want to spend a lot of time figuring this out. Maybe here we have to set the anchor to the... This shouldn't change anything, actually. What am I talking about? It would only anchor it like that, yeah. All right, well, whatever. Let's just ignore all this stuff. Just don't save and get rid of that. Yeah. Stretch mode, custom minimum size, yeah. I'd like to increase the size of it eventually. Oh, did I never even check this in? Oh, well then I guess we're going to check in both these things at once. What is this? This needs to be at the bottom of the file. No, I don't want to check them both in at once. Wait, I'm confused. I did check this in, didn't I? Get log -1. Why is this showing up again then? I must have pressed up or down. Okay, so this is going to be change color of battle mods icon. It's gray when you don't have any mods. And I think we're good. That looks good. I know I've looked at this a bunch of times. I just want to make absolutely certain. Try this again. Okay, so starting a battle shows it gray. Starting a battle with a buff shows it colorful. Cool. Great. So that's done. Make it show it in screen space. That way the camera doesn't affect it. And the styling in both tooltips will look consistent, as opposed to having to change the or override the font size. This is not very easy. At least I don't think it's going to be. Right now, this shows up in world space. So when you zoom, it changes the size of this. What I want this to do is show up in screen space, but not cover the mouse. So like if you had this at the top of the screen, it would probably cover where the mouse is. So you wouldn't be able to see what your enchantments are. Also, nothing else works this way right now, right? Like if you click this, this is also in world space. I think they all need to start being in screen space though, and I think we only need to allow like 1 or 2 to be open at a time. Probably 1. We're also gonna have item tooltips that show up, but we got to work on those in a bit. Having it in world space means people can zoom to read it. Yeah, but having it in screen space means you shouldn't have to zoom to read it because it'll always be a size that you can read. Sort of like this. Like you can't zoom to read the skill tree, but if you can't read the skill tree, it means we have a bigger problem in the game. And actually, it's the same thing with this right here. Wait for this battle to start. Yep, this one. We can make this a little bit larger, but yeah, there's always going to be tooltips on stuff that we have in screen space. Okay, so let's try it out. Let's go to Enchanter Den, and let's just try to have the tooltip show. We get this here, show at mouse entered show. Update tooltip if it's visible. All right, we're gonna have to change this quite a lot. And we don't want it to show with the mouse. Oh man. Yeah, okay. Let's try some things then. So instead of getting this tooltip, do we get the town in here? We do. Okay, let's just set that tooltip to the town tooltip. Is there a similar feature available on YouTube? I don't know, to be honest. There might be. On Discord, I have a role that you can join if you end up, where is this thing? Oh, here. If you click channels and roles on Discord and just, do you want to be notified when Adam starts to stream? If you click yes, then you'll know and can, well, I mean, it only links to Twitch. I guess I could also link to YouTube here. But I think there should be a way to get notifications when I go live on YouTube. Or you could treat the Twitch notification as a going live notification on YouTube, because I just streamed to both platforms at once, and also Steam. It's weird to say to somebody, yeah, I'm a Steam streamer. I don't think I would ever actually say that. On YouTube, it's just in your subscriber feed. No, but there's a way to get notified, right? I'm pretty sure that's what the bell icon is for, that I hear YouTubers talk about that I've never enabled. Okay, so we have the tooltip here, and this is going to show up, and we'll just see what this looks like. It's not positioned at the mouse, but it probably should be, so I probably should have stopped that from happening. Oh, nice. Yeah, actually, this is decent. I kind of liked it in world space. Yeah, kind of liked it in world space. Also, this did end up being pretty easy to do. I want to take a screenshot of it in both ways. Yeah, I've also heard a bunch and never clicked it. All right, so let's paste this into here. So that is us zoomed out. Here is it zoomed in. And then screen space, which is this. I'm your favorite Steam streamer. Wow, thanks. And then we have one more of these, which is this, but zoomed in now. Okay, so it's opinion time, chat. I don't really have a way of showing all of this at once. There is. I just had to check under my user settings. Awesome. I assume you were a Soul Guardian. Everyone has very different style names on YouTube. Okay, so here's what we have originally in the game. We had it so that enchantments, this dialogue shows up in world space, which means it's always going to take up the same space relative to the little grassy edge that we have here. So this is zoomed out and this is zoomed in. Same thing. It's the same relative position. It looks like it's in a world space. Here it is in screen space, where actually I could just show you this live, I guess, where regardless of whether you're zoomed in or out, it's always going to show at the same size. So what do people prefer? Because I think the problem, well, let me share my thoughts, even though I know this will bias people. Screen space and a bigger base font size. Yeah. So I liked the idea of it never covering the mouse, but if you were zoomed in, you have no way of reading this and using the actual thing that you're hovering over. And I guess there is this sort of convenience feature of you can make the text larger, but when you're zoomed out, it's illegible. So yeah, I think we need to use screen space for more UIs. And then show at mouse is set to false. I don't know. What if we just turn that off? Same size, zooming in and out. Yeah, okay, so screen space, gotcha. Okay, cool. Well, that certainly makes things easier. What just happened right there? It looked like the tooltip showed up at the left side of the screen. Yeah, it does. And then it repositions itself in a frame. What is this even doing? Show at mouse. Oh, this is called in ready, so this is doing nothing. Ah, so if we did not, if we did this here, what would happen? It's going to always show in the same position on the screen. Yeah, okay. I don't think we care about that. I'll just show it the mouse. Inconsistent size is better, but persistent menus like building a shop are better being fixed in their position. I see. Yeah. Okay, well, let's turn that off. And then let's just delete the tooltip from here, I guess. We don't save the town, do we? No, we don't. All right, Enchanter Den. It looks like all this just worked, but I need to make sure it's going to work and it's not just a coincidence. So let's read through all of this. Show and hide makes sense. This is visible in tree is not good. Yeah, we need to know that the mouse is over this thing. Private bool is mouse over equals false. Then on hover, set this to true, set this to false, and then only if the mouse is over this. Will it mess with other tooltips? Yes, it will. And technically now nothing needs to set that. Show at mouse. Yeah, nothing uses this. But if anything did use it, then it would be a problem. I don't think we have a reason to do this anymore. I think any tooltip that you'd hover over, you'd want to have showing at the mouse. Unless we had a dedicated portion of the screen we wanted to show it at. I think I'm going to delete this. That way we just don't have to think about this anymore. Any other problems? No, I don't see any other problems. So the only other thing we have to try is make sure the timers go down correctly, which I really hope works because Yep, nice, it's working. Okay, cool, that was it. Yeah, now, oh wait, no, that's not it. We have to resize the text, but then that's it. And now these look the exact same, right? Yeah. All right, so enchantments, instead of being, what was it, size equals 12, let's set it to size of 16. I don't remember what the default size is, but I think it is 16. So I think this is going to show up the same size as the other text. Yeah, it does. Okay, so then 24. I want it to clearly indicate it's a title. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah. And as you drag these things onto here. Okay, cool. Cool. Does look a touch too large. I'm going to try 20. Although this is not the way you should ever do this stuff. I read a UI book and it suggested that you pick a handful of font sizes. So something like small, medium, large, maybe like an extra large and an extra small, and then only ever use those. And yes, you eventually need to pick what the sizes of these things are. Maybe this is 12 pixels and this is 16 pixels and whatever. It's going onward, right? But it's not, oh, this one should be slightly larger than small, but slightly smaller than medium. So let's pick 17 pixels. And I'm not super concerned about that yet. Yeah, I agree. It's a UI polish thing. All right, so I think we are looking pretty good. Yep. Cool. So position Enchanter tooltip in screen coordinates. Yeah. This also allowed the styling to be consistent. Oh, we can delete the tooltip now. I had not thought of that. This does not need a tooltip. Goodbye. And that shouldn't cause any problems. And it probably will, because I think in ready we do something special here. Yes, we do. All right, that should fix everything. Yeah, it's still working. We do see it flash over here really quickly. I guess no matter what we see it flash, because it only changes on the next frame. I don't like that at all. Yeah, drat. Oh, it's certainly a different bug though. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. So bug, hover over the Enchanter den to see the tooltip, then move the camera and hover over it again. It'll very obviously flash for one frame in the old location. We probably need to immediately adjust the position without knowing the size. No. We probably need to hide the tooltip for the frame where we're still adjusting the position. Maybe show it at -1000, -1000 or something. Hey, Trisket. No, we're going to implement the full CSS3 engine. We got to do that. Otherwise, how are we going to be able to set the background image to repeat? All right, Enchanter Den looks good. This looks good. Yep. And no errors when we launched. Yeah. Also allowed the styling to be consistent with the battle mods icons tooltip in the battle screen. I got rid of show at mouse because nothing is using it anymore. And because any tooltips that need to set something like that will cause all tooltips to have to set those settings before using the tooltip. Okay, this is done. Cleanup, I don't care about the cleanup right now. All right, that took a long time. That was how long? 2 hours and 50 minutes, but we checked off one thing on the list. So now let's move this down to the bottom. Next up is need to make a tutorial for the Enchanter to tell you how they work. This should be a conversation with the Enchanter themselves. They should explain how this stuff works and maybe have a next previous close. All right, what are the things we need to tell you? So tell about dragging an item to one of the pots. Tell them about how buffs only affect future battles. Maybe tell them that it destroys the item, and tell them that dragging another item will overwrite the old buff. Yeah. Don't tell anything, let players figure it out. I wonder if I didn't have any text in the game, what players would figure out from this. It does say drag an item onto a pot to disenchant it. And we could just put the text here, like dragging a new item will overwrite, blah, blah, blah. But I think having the enchanter tell you something would be good. We also need to get rid of that exclamation mark that's showing. I think that's just a cleanup thing too, though. Get rid of the that shows on the enchanter. There's no point to it. And also get rid of the tables with the small crystals. Maybe they could. No, just get rid of them. Yeah, this stuff is all pretty easy to do. I don't think it's important to do yet. All right, then items need tooltips when they're on the ground. Clear out the space, save and load the enchanter, design some skills, and unlock only one crystal at a time. Yeah, I think this is a lot to do in 3 more hours. When does Costco close? Costco hours. Closes at 8:30. Okay. Maybe we can just stream long today. I mean, I need to get lunch at some point. Do I want to? I'm trying to think of what I want to do as far as time goes. Is UI clatter if this drag text is shown each time? After you read it once, you understood it and don't need to see it next time? I mean, it goes away once you've dragged an item. So if you always have a buff, you won't see it. But yeah, as soon as the buff runs out, it'll tell you again. I think this is worthwhile to have. I think people do forget things. And people just don't read. Make icons for every buff and show them in the UI with a timer. Gets rid of most of this work. Make icons for every buff and show them in the UI. This work? To tell you how this stuff works? I mean, all this stuff is apparent from just playing the game. I just think there should be something explicit telling you. Also, a lot of the feedback has been things like, hey, it'd be nice to have reminders of how things have worked. And at least 2 or maybe 3 people explicitly said it'd be nice if there were some, like, I don't know, some what are all the game features or some button like that. And I see a lot of games do this. Even I've been playing Echoes of Wisdom lately, but a lot of Nintendo games have like a tips section on their menu, and they might have a control section. The control section is different. If you're playing a controller game, I think it's like, okay, you need to know what the X button does. But the tips section is not necessarily something players would expect, and yet it does tell you this stuff. So yeah, I think it's a good thing. Stuff you already did. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, now we have the icons in the battle. Well, this icon at least. Also, it's very hard to see. We should probably increase the size of it. Increase the size of the crystal icon in the battle so that it's more visible. You can also have a circle around the buff icon that shows the duration. Might be polished stuff. Yeah, I think we're going to worry about the polished stuff later. I think for right now, well, oh, by the way, the duration, just to be clear here, the color of the crystal is the duration. So you can see it slowly fading out. I can zoom in even more. Yeah, you can see it slowly fading out. So you have that as a visual, but then you also have the text right there in the tooltip saying 44 seconds remaining. So I think the combination of those things is probably clear enough. But yeah, we could always put an icon at the top of the screen with timers there or something like that. Tip section's gonna be good. Also like a help journal if something was a pop-up, you can go back and look at it later. Yeah. Yeah, and lots of these things, I feel like it's easy to overestimate the player's ability to remember the systems in a game. And some things, and I've seen this in the user research sessions I've done for Skeleseller, where I've told someone that there's a feature and they almost immediately lose that context, and I need to tell them again at some point. It could be something as simple as dragging an item, like, hey, you can drag items in the game. And they're like, oh, cool, I didn't know that. But at the time I told them, they were trying to battle. So they're looking at the battle screen, and then I tell them something, and then they just eject it from their head. And I think that's kind of reasonable. What were the small crystals? The small crystals were supposed to be the queue that you could do. So you drag an item onto this, it would light up the crystal for the first time. When you drag another item on, it would produce that green crystal on the side. And that would, then when the big crystal runs out, it would take the one from the small crystal and like use that as the buff. I'm going to get rid of those because I don't think a queue system is going to be worth the complexity, I guess. Also, another way we could potentially, like maybe if we really wanted a queue, we could have another large crystal in the background or something like that. I'm not sure. But yeah, not very concerned about that yet. Okay, so the only thing I'm trying to figure out is time management right now. We need to fit lunch in somewhere, and if not lunch, then a break. I think it's better to just go start lunch and then be a little bit better about taking breaks in the afternoon. Yeah. Because how long has this stream been? It's been 3 hours, right? Yeah, pretty much. All right, continued working on the Enchanter. I'm hoping tonight we can say finished working on the Enchanter. But yeah, I think I'm going to go get lunch. And then when we come back, we'll keep tackling these tasks. I'll start with the tutorial thing. This should be pretty simple. It's just spawn a bunch of dialogues. And we already have the dialogues. The tooltips for items, I think the tooltip itself can be very easy to do, but I'm not sure when we'd want to have you hover over them. Make sure the tooltips don't get in the way when you're dragging an item. Maybe we want to turn them off for that. Not sure about that. All right, yeah, I'm gonna go to lunch. It is about noon my time. There's a fruit fly in here. It's about noon my time, a little bit beforehand. I'm gonna go take about an hour maybe, and then after I come back, expect maybe like 3 hours of streaming. I want to finish the Enchanter. So if we somehow got done sooner than that, which I doubt it, then we'll probably just end the stream. But I think it's gonna take more like 4 hours. Wait, which one of these was supposed to be the word steak again? All right. Well, anyway, thank you all for watching. If you want to join Discord, here it is. And if you want to give my vlog views. Oh, streak. Oh, I read that as steak because of your correction afterward. I didn't even know you made a typo. Yeah, thank you for watching. I'll be back in a bit and we'll just keep going with this stuff. Bye, everybody.